Episode 1, Rethinking Flight from First Principles. We cannot logically include all necessary information within one video. That would be akin to publishing everything we know about the human body in one video. If you want to know, we ask that you be patient. Thank you. With that, let's get started. For over 100 years, we've asked one basic question. How do we build a better aircraft? Perhaps we've been asking the wrong question. Perhaps our questions need to evolve. What if the real question, the best question, is, how do we manage the state of the medium surrounding the vehicle? That single change in thinking does indeed transform everything. You see, today's vehicles move through the medium surrounding the vehicle. Tomorrow's vehicles may actively manage the environment and space-time itself. Not through magic, and not necessarily by means of anti-gravity alone. Not by violating the laws of physics, of course. But by integrating everything we know and will come to know. That's because space and time is not simply an empty void of nothingness. It has properties: pressure, density, temperature, viscosity, conductivity, ionization, plasma, magnetic fields, electric fields, turbulence, permeability, permittivity, fluctuations, oscillations, virtual particles, energy gradients, and a whole lot more. Every one of these properties can, to some extent, be measured and influenced, and what cannot be, will be eventually. Traditional aircraft control only one of them well: pressure. A wing redirects airflow, a propeller accelerates air. A jet engine exchanges momentum with hot exhaust gases. Each is fundamentally a pressure management device. Now, imagine expanding that philosophy. Instead of managing only pressure, what if a vehicle could also influence the surrounding environment, such as temperature, ionization, conductivity, magnetic fields, the behavior of a boundary layer, and what of space and time itself? The craft would no longer just be a machine flying through its environment. It would become a machine continuously shaping its surrounding environment, whatever environment that might be. This is called a field-managed vehicle. Notice something important. None of these ideas require new laws of physics, though we may add new laws in the future. Electric fields, magnetic, plasma, superconductors, ultracapacitors, high-powered electric motors, etc. already exist. And artificial intelligence already coordinates systems of extraordinary complexity. Now, individually, none of these technologies revolutionize flight. But, as history has taught us, revolutions tend to occur when mature technologies are integrated into a coherent architecture. Think about the modern smartphone. None of their individual components were revolutionary by themselves. The revolution came from integration. Perhaps our aerospace industry is approaching a similar moment. Sooner or later, I'm sure, all species comes to one final conclusion: systems integration. Instead of asking what engines should we build, we should ask, what subsystems would a vehicle require if its purpose were to manage the state of the surrounding medium itself? Well, immediately the architecture changes. The structure becomes more than a frame. It becomes a part of the electrical system, and more. The skin becomes more than an aerodynamic surface. In fact, it becomes an active interface between the vehicle and its surrounding environment. The propulsion system would be an integral part of a collective system. Power generation, thermal management, plasma control, distributed sensing, and advanced control software via a neural network all become equally important. Rather than dozens of independent systems, the vehicle becomes a whole, one integrated machine, just like a living organism. Now, imagine millions of sensors reading every pico or femtosecond. Pressure, temperature, structural, electric fields, magnetic fields, plasma conditions, airflow, and perhaps the flow of space and time itself, and obviously more. Each one would feed into a control system that continually searches for the most efficient, most harmonious operating condition, whilst also calculating a trajectory through space and time. Not just for the engines, but for the entire craft. This is not science fiction. It is an advanced technological species philosophy. Certain modern aircraft already perform limited versions of this. The difference is in scale and scope. The future may simply extend this philosophy until nearly every interaction between the vehicle and its surrounding environment becomes actively and precisely managed. Could such a vehicle eventually fly in the atmosphere, underwater, and in space using different operational modes? Perhaps. In fact, probably most likely. Ultimately, all advanced species eventually come to see the same basic yet totally logical conclusions. That is, of course, unless you're born in another universe with different physics. But no matter how a bird's wings may be shaped, they all follow the same basic physics. Does science know it all? Of course not. Not for many of thousands of years to come, or more. But good engineering does not begin with answers. It all begins with better questions and a curious mind open to reality. Over time and in the following episodes to come, we will build this vehicle from first principles. We'll examine advanced power systems, distributed propulsion, system integration, the nature of space-time, magnetohydrodynamics, superconducting electrical distribution, thermal management, new materials, artificial intelligence, and a whole lot more. But most importantly, how each subsystem interacts with every other subsystem. Not in search of a miracle technology, oh no, but in search of a better architecture. It is, in fact, a superior engineering architecture philosophy. The future of flight may not belong to a single revolutionary engine. It may belong to the first vehicle that learns to manage the fields surrounding it as effectively as today's aircraft manage airflow. If that's true, then we're not just designing another craft. We're designing an entirely new way of thinking about flight, whether it be in the atmosphere, in space, in time, and/or other. And on that note, I thank you for watching. And until next time, keep wondering about space. Cheers.